Hey everyone, this is Tyrone, the Bandit Wholesaler, coming to you once again. Happy 2014. Hope you had a great 2013. No, this isn't a mirage. This is not an illusion. This is me in the flesh. I've been getting a lot of messages on YouTube wanting to know where I've been, why I haven't done any videos in several months. And as usual, I've just been really busy. 2013 has been a good year for me. But 2014, I'm going to start transitioning more so into the rehab part of real estate. That was my #1 goal from the very beginning when I got into wholesaling. And my main goal I set for myself for 2014 is to pretty much be ready by 2015 to start to do my very first rehab project. But anyways, I want to talk real quick, and we'll do a quick video, and this primarily goes to wholesalers and landlords in Baltimore City. If you're not familiar with the lead paint case that was in the Maryland Court of Appeals in 2010, I think it was 2010 or 2011, October 2010 or 2011, there was a ruling, a very unfavorable ruling that came down against landlords. A plaintiff, I believe it was a woman who was diagnosed with lead paint poisoning, brought suit in the Maryland in the Maryland Court of Appeals. Well, what happened was in this ruling was that landlords had a favorable preference, a favorable statute that was in effect for quite a while, in which that landlords could only face, I think it was like a $17,000 maximum suit if ever someone brought suit against them in a lead paint case. And all they had to do was make sure to let the tenant know that the property did indeed have lead paint. Number 2, register the property with the Maryland Department of the Environment. And number 3, fully disclose that the property had lead paint. And number 3, make sure that the property didn't have any flaking or peeling paint. Make sure that the paint was fully encapsulated. Well, now thanks to the ruling, none of that applies, and a landlord can face unlimited liability in a lawsuit case. Millions upon millions of millions if, that's what the plaintiff and the lawyers want to bring suit against. The other day, I got a brochure from one of the lawyers here in Baltimore. It has nothing to do with me. He's probably sent this out to about 50, 100, 200,000 people. And because right now, this is open season on landlords. This is a feeding frenzy for trial lawyers, because that $17,000 cap is now gone. And here's the kicker. A landlord can still face unlimited liability, but they still have to register their property with the Maryland Department of the Environment. Still, and he still has to disclose to the tenant that the property has lead paint. But it doesn't matter; they still can be sued regardless. Well, anyways, a lot of wholesalers didn't know this, and I was talking to one of my buyers 3 weeks ago. And he said that pretty much he's getting out of the rental business, especially in Baltimore, because number 1, the housing stock in Baltimore is well over 100 years old, and a lot of the housing stock has lead paint. Lead paint was banned in 1977, but since a lot of these houses were built back in the 1900s, a lot of them still have it. What makes matters worse, a lot of your veteran landlords, they know this, but a lot of the newbie landlords don't know this. So a wholesaler might be thinking, okay, doing repair estimates, carpet paint, okay, mechanical furnace, hot water heater, circuit breaker, maybe the roof. But really, the best thing to do is also factor in what it would cost to make sure that all the lead paint, full lead abatement on the property, make sure the lead paint is taken out completely. Because right now, just doing the paint over, just making sure encapsulating of the paint is not going to cut it. The landlord is now liable for untold damages if that tenant gets sick and decides to bring suit. And what makes matters worse is that it's not just the landlord who owns the property right now. A person who gets impacted by lead paint, they can sue people all the way down the chain of title. Everyone who owned that property, because they didn't do anything to address the lead paint when they owned it. So in a way, they still contributed to that person who was impacted with, who was poisoned lead, who suffered lead paint poisoning. That's how bad it is. So right now, a lot of landlords are running for cover, but there is a way for landlords to protect themselves. If you're going to buy a property as a rental, especially in Baltimore City, the one thing you need to do is make sure that you take title to the property with the tenant gone out of the property. Make sure that their possessions, everything is gone. When the time of closing, make sure that that property is vacant. Because the problem is that if you buy a rental property, pretty much a turnkey, you take title to that property with that tenant in it, and that property has lead paint, you can be sued. You can be sued. So make sure that that property is vacant. One other way you could also do it is that you can put in a contract that you as the buyer want possession of the property prior to close, and do the work to have a full lead abatement. Make sure that all the lead paint is taken out before you take close to the property, just as a extra safeguard. But these are the things that landlords are going to have to do right now, especially the newbies. The older landlords, that's tough. I mean, that's going to be tough, because if you owned the property and you sold it 5 years ago, and somebody right now or a year ago, whatever, and they filed suit because they got lead paint, you could be facing a lawsuit, even though you no longer own the property, because you didn't do anything to address the lead paint when you did own it. So all I can say is I hope you don't get sued. But to those who still want to basically own rental properties, especially Baltimore City, those are the two best things to do. Take title to the property with the tenant out of it, and then basically do the full lead abatement and have it taken out, or basically take possession of the property, do the work, and then close on it and take title to it. Well, anyways, hope this helped. And if any of you wholesalers or landlords have any questions, just give me a holler real quick. And also, I will be doing some other videos pretty soon to get caught up. So hope this helped, and hope you all have a great 2014. See ya.